Hi everybody and welcome back to BD Studios. As I said in the last video, we've been really busy for the last couple of days, or actually last couple of months. Feels like days.
Months for sure.
Working on this Instagram challenge for 100 days. If you're not familiar with it, look it up. You do a project for 100 days consecutively and you basically have free reign of whatever you want to do, but on the same medium pretty much. We decided to do wood for 100 days and different art pieces on the wood. So based on that, I came up with an idea that we can translate into cardboard, because we've been playing with a lot of cardboard.
It's our new favorite.
Yes, new favorite medium.
Yes.
So I thought, what can we do that would be fun, simple, that everybody would have the supplies? And I was going through some art that I sold a while ago back. Let me bring it up to the camera. Can they see it there?
Yes.
This is going to be my inspiration. I'm going to translate it to cardboard. So let me just go over the supplies you'll need. You'll need to have some cardboard handy. Any of your Amazon boxes, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going to cut out figures. You're going to need a glass jar with water, an assortment of brushes. I have a thin one, a thicker one, a pencil to outline, an eraser in case you make a boo-boo, some basic paint colors. I'm going to use these and white and black. You need Mod Podge to glue down your cardboard. If you don't have Mod Podge, you can use Elmer's glue with a little bit of water. That works as well, but it's really inexpensive and you can get it anywhere, so it's worth getting. And it's a nice finisher. When you're done on your piece, you can brush it over as well. And then acrylic paint and somewhere to put your paint, your little palette. So let's get started. The idea was just to take a piece of cardboard and we're going to make an eyeball. And an eyeball is very, very simple. Basically, the top lid, we cut it out of this piece. Then you make another one for the bottom lid. You want to take something like the Mod Podge bottles, you know, trace it like we did here, and make your pupil. Then I got my top lid, my bottom lid, and just to do the sides, we cut out a triangle. So you could cut out, let me just quickly show you.
Oh yeah, you need scissors too.
Scissors, I forgot to mention scissors. So if you're gonna cut out a triangle, okay, just to give you an idea. So a triangle looks like this, but if you want it to match up to your eyeball, you'd place your eyeball on top.
Okay, let me zoom in on that.
Okay, come on top. And then you would mark it. Then you have that nice circle. You're basically creating a puzzle piece, see? It fits right there perfectly, all right? So that's how I did my triangles on the side. And so now that I have my basic eyeball configuration, which is kind of cool,
yes,
we are going to glue it down with the Mod Podge. Again, like I said, I'm using wood because I have wood scraps left over for our 100-day project. We cut extra, but you could do it on a canvas board. You could do it on another bigger piece of cardboard on cardboard. That'll work.
Maybe even poster board or
poster
anything.
Board with the kids, poster board, or canvas. Just even a canvas will take. Mod Podge is fabulous. You can glue it anywhere.
It might also be really cool for like your kid's wall.
Oh my gosh.
You know?
I mean, I don't know. But that would be totally
But you
cool.
could use that easy release tape.
Yes,
and
yes.
put it on.
Put it on the wall. Let them be creative. I never stop my son from creativity. He sees some stuff that he did when he was younger. He's like, why did you let me paint that skull on my nightstand? I'm like, hey, artistic freedom, you know?
Right.
And once they get over it, don't stop them, because if you stop them, then they want to do it even more. So just let them be free and express themselves.
Now, what would you do in the background?
Well, I want to paint the eye with those crazy colors that I picked right here.
What colors?
The blue, the hot pink, a lighter pink, a yellow, and I'll show you how to blend all the colors just to create depth. And then I think I'll keep gonna do the eyelid. I'm just gonna pour out my colors.
Here, let's hold it up again and see.
That's just my inspiration. I mean, you know, that painting was pretty big. Each eye had its own personality. I did brown, I did blue, I did pink. It was delicious,
amazing.
Deliciously crazy. So, put a little black.
And any kind of paint in particular?
These are really, if you want to show them on camera, these are really inexpensive acrylic paint.
Like Plaid is a good company that
Americana's good too.
And even this Craft Smart, just at Joann's or at Michael's. Sometimes we got these in like even the clearance bin.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Folk Art is good too.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're inexpensive, less than $1 a bottle.
I'm gonna take my blue paint.
Now, do you have to prime the cardboard, or can you paint right on it?
Well, here's what I've learned. What we've learned, but I'm
Yes.
glad you're asking the question. If you put white paint first, I don't like it shows like the brush strokes. And turn your art around. You know, you don't have to stick to one direction. It gives you have the freedom to move stuff around. Don't stay stuck in one area. So when I've painted it white and then I come back with color, I feel like I have to do several brush applications, several paint applications, because it shows my brush strokes and I don't like it. I don't like it when it shows the brush strokes. So.
And the other thing I like about the cardboard, it shows you like texture that.
So this is why I like it. See, I went up and down, so now you can see a little bit of the brown, which I find very delicious. So I'm gonna dip a little bit of white just to add a little more dimension, okay? And just spread that part where you put it, spread it till it starts, the cardboard eats it up. So just a little bit. Notice that I barely have any. You think I don't have any until I do this. So a little
And what
bit
are you
more.
looking for when you're doing that?
Okay, I'm doing this to create depth. You don't want things to be flat.
Flat,
You
right.
know.
Like I paint flat.
You know, you want to just, and it could be very on purpose.
And the one thing I've learned from you is that more is not always
No,
good.
it's not always good.
So less is better. You can always add. It's just really hard to take away.
Can you see now that
I see
you
it's
get,
popping now.
You see
yeah.
how it pops? Okay. And then, since I'm going to do maybe this in pink, I want to just, with the little teeny, look how I put it here and I barely have any. I just kind of want to, my brush is almost dry, but it still has a hue of pink in it.
And the purpose for that?
You know, you want your eye to bounce all over the piece. You don't want to just stay stuck in the eyelid, or you don't want to just have pink on the bottom. I want to highlight the colors a little bit. See how I put too much there? Clean your brush, wipe it down, go back, and you notice with the, since it was still a little wet, my brush, you see how I just cleaned it up? So you only get a little bit of the purpley pink color. All right? So I'm going to turn it around because I want this to be the top of my eye. So then I think I'm going to do this pink.
Okay.
Only because whatever.
Exactly.
That's what speaks to me. And I'm going to do like this. What would you call this?
It's like a salmon-y color.
It's called melon.
Melon.
No, but it is salmon-y. But what we're going to do is we're going to just use it as a base. You know what I use this for? When I've done my Harley Quinn hair, this is the Harley Quinn hair color for me.
And is that the blue hair? The blue part?
I use another one, but it's very, 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 very similar to this one. So again, I'm going in a back and forth motion. But if you've ever painted, you'll notice that cardboard is just a yummy, yummy thing. It eats it up and sucks it up, and it gives you all this dimension without even trying so hard.
Great.
So now I'm going to go back into my darker pink.
Okay.
And I'm going to do it under the eyeball to create a shadow.
So instead of the white.
Instead of the white, we're going to want to make it a little darker.
So the white brightens it, and the other color kind of makes it deeper.
A little deeper. Exactly. And I take a little bit, because a little bit goes a long way, like I said before, but... And remember, if it's too much, you go back with your salmon. And now I'm bringing it from the corner down a little bit. I don't want it to be a perfect straight line. I want to blend it, right? Sometimes you want something to be on purpose, and sometimes...
You don't want to see the differentiation stripes. You want to see just a blend.
Correcto. And I'm going to go now, even though my brush is dirty.
Yeah.
I'm going to dip it.
That's very unusual for you.
I know. A little bit. And I'm going to go under here.
And that is to...
Just to add a different color. Just to have...
But does it makes like almost like a shadowy pop.
Like another shadow. So I'm going to clean my brush again.
You would never know that that's salmon now. It just has a lot of movement.
Okay. And even, just even a little yellow up here. Just on this corner.
So your favorite word for is balance.
Balance.
So everything has to be balanced.
A little bit of balance goes a long way. And again, I got too much pink. I just clean it up.
I would never have thought to put pink on the blue or yellow on the salmon, but it really makes a difference.
It pops it.
Yep.
So what we're gonna do is that, you know, our eyeballs are white in here.
Mm-hmm.
So we are gonna do them white, but
they're not really white.
It
depends what you did the night before.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, they're gonna be white, but with color. Okay.
I do like the cardboard, how it adds texture, and you don't even
and
have
dimension,
to. Yes.
dimension. It's coming together. I really love this. I'm obsessed with cardboard right now. So,
if you really can do so many things, why don't you show? Well, Leanne, we'll show what you did today for our day. What is it? Day 84? 83 or 84 out of cardboard. This can I show?
Sure.
While she's painting the white, look at this cardboard piece inspired by Picasso. This is for our 100-day challenge, but look at the beauty. You wouldn't even know it's cardboard.
Just layers upon layers. It's super fun.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go in here also. You know, if you would have wanted to, we just wanted to leave that space open. You could cut another little piece of cardboard and stick it in there.
You could.
This is almost like making your own puzzle.
Which is part of the fun.
I love it. I love it. And you don't have to be this, oh my God, I don't know how to draw. You really don't have to.
And then one of the fun things to do is look at all of the pieces.
That's going to be another video.
This is going to be another video where you take all your scraps and you kind of put them together and then you paint them like a big puzzle.
Okay. All I've done is add white, and you could still see the cardboard.
Yes.
So I'm going to go into the blue, very, very little, and I'm just going to create, you know, my brush back and forth, very, very, very little. You see that? Can you see it in the camera?
Yes, you can see it in the camera.
Awesome. And maybe on this side, I'm going to make the blue a little brighter, you know? Intentionally.
Yeah, because nothing is ever symmetrical.
Especially in the human body.
Yep.
And so now towards the bottom, I don't mind.
So it's as if you're bringing the colors from the top and the bottom together. They meet in the middle.
Yes, ma'am. This has nothing to do with my inspiration.
Do you see how this inspiration is just inspiration, right?
So I'm going to paint my eye blue. And I'm going to go from the outside in. And I'll tell you why I'm going from the outside in. If you look closely at a human eye, it has like these lines. And so your pupil is in the middle, and all those beautiful colors go towards the pupil. So that's why I want to, do you see how I'm creating lines? Does it come out on the camera?
I think
really
so.
good? Yeah? Okay. It's so pretty. It's coming together, people. coming
I mean,
together.
just watching you do it is so relaxing.
Yay, I am pretty relaxed.
It is. It's painting is such a unique art form. You don't have to be an excellent painter to feel the results of just putting color on whatever.
This is very,
Very zen.
very zen. That's a good word. Don't worry about the eyeball. The pupil. We're gonna do that last. So now that you've done this, clean your brush again. I'm using a big brush today, but it gets pointy, so it serves dual purpose. So I'm gonna go into my yellow, and I'm just gonna create these.
And is there a reason you picked yellow?
Not really. I just think it's pretty. See? It's my world. I feel like Bob Ross. You know, maybe you're more into another color. Now here's a little technique. Pulling again from the outside. You guys see that?
Yep.
Since the brush has broken itself up into 3 pieces, well, so be it, you know? I'm gonna let it create the eyeball illusion for me. See that?
And you just picked up a little bit more color.
I picked up a
But
little
not
bit
a
of
lot.
white.
Not a lot.
I picked up a little bit of yellow. I'm gonna go back into the salmon. And I'm gonna clean it again. I encourage everybody to get a fabulous tablecloth like this. Go crazy with it. Set yourself up for your moments of creativity. It's so delicious to have a space, you know?
But even if you don't have a space and you just want to paint, it's easy to do it even on your kitchen table.
Yes.
Or on the TV tables. You just take it out and
do your thing.
Oh, I love how you're using multiple colors. It's psychedelic.
It's psychedelic. It's so not me. These are not my colors, but that's what I'm into today.
And there's no rules. No rules.
Do you see how pretty that came out now that I went into the pink?
But you use the same general colors throughout.
I'm just blending them so that, you know, when you see it, you don't want your eye to go to one particular location. You want to wander through the painting.
And color helps you do that.
And the bouncing of the color helps you do that.
I love how it made a purple.
Yes, we're mixing colors.
So what makes purple?
I think that mixing the blue with the pink makes that purple. And then the yellow just kind of comes along for the ride.
Nice.
I'm going to go in a little further now, because then we're going to put in the so my brush strokes are going to go deeper now.
That really creates kind of a depth, like it goes in.
Well, again, the whole eyeball thing. Fascinated. I love eyeballs. I think they're so, and everybody's is so beautiful, you know.
And different.
It doesn't matter if you have, you know, green eyes or blue eyes. Everybody has, you know, beautiful eyes. You look closely, you know. You like that?
Fantastic.
It's coming along.
Yes.
Again, I go
Almost-
back and forth and I just decide, well, I'm going to put a little more yellow here.
Again, balance.
Again, balance. Then if I think it needs a little more light, and all I'm doing is coming from the outside, so I'm gonna let the majority of the paint will be on the outside of the circle. I'm gonna come back in all around with the white.
And I love how
Oops, too much. See, too much. It doesn't matter. You just bring it in.
the color dries. As it dries and the cardboard sucks up the color, it just makes it much more muted and delicious.
It changes it up a little bit.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of people could do this.
Absolutely.
Just, you know, take your time. If you're watching this and then you think I'm going too fast, then just stop the video and take your time. Okay, so now I'm going to do the pupil. Yummy, yummy, yummy. I
And is
made...
there a reason why you didn't go all the way around?
I'm going to do the pupil like this.
Okay.
It's going to be a big pupil.
All right.
But I also want to do this. This is going to make your piece pop. Okay?
Outlining is key. Give them a little eyeliner.
Just a little pop, and then we'll do eyelashes.
Eyeliner's always good.
Eyeliner's fabulous. It frames. It's like having a... What did they say? No mascara is like having a house painted with old... You know, you just painted the house, but you have old windows. Because, you know, the eyes are...
Yes, the window to the soul.
Yeah. So I'm not too happy with my black line, but it doesn't matter because we are going to add the lashes. I'm also going to, look what I'm doing. While it's still wet, soften it. Soften it so that the line is not so...
Just like you do with...
And you know, I just clean it on my hands.
Yeah, and just like you do with eyeliner, when it's too much, you soften it with a brush.
My brush is still a little wet, so it's good. You see how that softened it? Without having to go back and fixing it too much. Mm-hmm. And all you're doing is creating the shadow inside. Yum. So now I'm going to put old school eyeliner on the bottom.
I'm so not good at that.
Okay, so for you not so good at that people, do it with a pen.
Right.
Do it with a Sharpie. Do it with a colored crayon. Watercolors. There's so many options.
Where's your favorite pen? You have a favorite pen.
I have the
This one. This is the pen of choice. Uniball.
It's waterproof.
Waterproof, fade-proof, Uniball Vision.
It works really well. Again, I'm going back in with my brush a little moist from the water, not too moist, just a little bit. And I'm taking off the excess. I really shouldn't be wiping on my hands, but I'm a messy artist. Hey, not everybody is, you know.
You use what you got.
That's right. I'm gonna be civilized now and use a napkin.
She's only civilized because you're watching.
So you see, I didn't like that. So I'm gonna go back in with the salmon and soften it. Did you see how nice that does? Just play with the colors. It's so relaxing. Okay.
That was a good point. If you don't like it, just paint over it.
Paint over it.
That's the beauty of it.
All right, don't be afraid. If you're afraid, take a piece of cardboard, cut it out. Let me just show you real quick. Take a piece of cardboard, cut out like a circle, and just say, well, I think my pupil should be there. And then come with your pencil, mark it out, and that's it. Don't, you know, or take this,
I like that.
mark it out, and that's it. I'm gonna go freehand. Should I go freehand?
Yeah, go freehand. Go for it.
Go freehand. I'm gonna go freehand. Voila! That's why I told you I was taking it all in.
Yeah.
So once I did all my little lines.
Now remember, she's done thousands of eyes.
Yeah. Well,
So
again, use what your resources. You know, the bottom of the lid. You know, find a lid, the bottom of your bottle, or if you're feeling brave.
and if you don't like it, let it dry and paint over it.
Exactly. So I'm gonna do a little more of that right here.
It really does add something. And the black really does change the colors, adding it.
It does. This I'm just gonna do along the edge, you know, just to add a little more dimension to it. But I'm gonna come back in, dry my brush basically, and soften it. And even if I drag a little bit of the black, I think it adds to the mystery. Look how pretty that looks. Just a little bit. It dirties it up, but intentionally. Does that make sense?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. You can just pull it right in.
Yep. Go back to your thin brush. Some people may want it a little cleaner and a little more perfect. We'll use the pen.
Yes.
You know?
I use the pen.
And that way you feel like you have more control. Until you feel that you can handle, you know, the brush and not freak out, you know?
Right.
Ooh, I like that. You see how I created that? Kind of like it for the other side too. So I'm gonna go over here and boom, pull it a little bit just to give it a little something. It's almost done. I'm gonna take my brush that's dirty, and notice I'm gonna show you it's still dirty. See how I can still make?
Yes.
And I'm just gonna do a little bit on the top here. What is that doing? It's adding just a little bit of shadow. I'm gonna put it in here. Oh, look, I put too much. So, okay, I put too much, right? Let's take a little bit of the white, soften it. So we want like a gray in there. Because when your eye is closed in that little area, it creates a little bit of darkness. So, clean your brush, clean your brush. Whenever you think, oh, I don't have a lot of paint, well, guess what? You still have a lot of paint on your brush. You could always go back to that little spot where you cleaned it. Did you see what I did there? Just a little bit of gray inside. Okay. I'm going to also do the outside of the eye. I can't control myself. I really love
painting, cardboard.
I just like the black because once we put the background paint, it's gonna make it look more 3D, which that's the purpose that we're trying to achieve here with the cardboard.
I think it also makes it a lot more finished. You know, nothing is undone.
Another little thing that I wanted to tell you guys is if you want to paint the sides of your cardboard first so that you don't see the cardboard, I don't mind seeing the edges, but you could stick your brush in there and paint it all before you even glue it. That's up to you. See how I'm going back with my brushes? It's still a little wet. I like it. But you don't want it to be too wet. And then after that, we're going to do the background. And we're going to do the lashes. And it's yummy. It's coming along. Let's do the top. One of my favorites to do is that scrap one. You want to talk about the scraps more?
Yes. We don't have a picture of it. But so, you know, here we can never throw anything out. So we always have to find a use for it. So with all of these scraps that we've made from our, how many cardboard pieces do we make? At least
a good 20.
A good 20. We have delicious little pieces of a lot of different shapes. And then you just we take a square and just start gluing it. Just start gluing all the different shapes onto the cardboard in multiple levels, multiple layers.
Creating a puzzle, but a 3D puzzle.
A 3D puzzle, and then I'll say, okay, it's done, Bocus, paint it. And she's like, oh my God, that's delicious.
It sure is, and it's a fun class, so
yes,
we'll definitely have to do that one too. I think it looks really nice.
I think so too.
All right, so my next step is to do the background, and then we'll do the lashes. So what am I gonna do in the background? I'm gonna keep it really simple. I'm gonna do white and maybe a little bit of black to give it like a gray mystery color, you know, shadowy. Mm-hmm. And why am I doing that? I don't want to take away from this.
Right.
But I also don't want to leave it, you know, flat. So I think we can make it a little dreamy and add the blue, and we can go in this direction.
Right.
To increase the
eye,
the illusion of the eye, the shape of the eye. Keep your eye going in that, you know, round.
Right, it's all about composition and having enough resting space.
Yeah. Even black, if you just want the eye to pop right in the middle, you could just do black.
Yes.
And with a little silver or something, or light gray.
The sky's the limit.
Right.
Actually, your paint colors are the limit.
Right. And really, you can paint with this paint is not expensive. And if you buy yourself a good sealer, a paint sealer, you can make any piece and it'll withstand, you know. You don't have to buy really expensive paint if you just want to do this as a hobby. Okay, so I'm gonna dip the blue again, and I'm just gonna lightly.
And you don't have a lot of paint on your brush.
I do not. Once I dip it, I clean it off. Dip and clean.
So it's like little wisps.
Just a little bit. And then I'm going to go back into the pink. Very, 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 very little. See how it's creating almost the purple color again? This is very Eastery. The colors remind me of Easter.
Mm-hmm.
But not really. It is quite lovely. On this side I may do yellow. Let's change it up a bit. Now I'm going to make green. Notice how I made green?
Mm-hmm.
I had blue on my brush. Got a little bit of yellow. But I don't mind it. Normally you should clean your brush, but do you hate that? No, I love it. Again, if you don't like it, Jesus, not a problem.
Exactly.
Paint
Do you
it.
need more white?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Why in that corner? Why not?
And you can color it as much as you want. I like just the shadow of the
I like
color.
that. I like it like that too. All right, so then, yes, I do need a little more white because we're going to put a little shadow in the eyeball.
Yes, we need the spark of life. The spark.
So I'm just going to start doing little boom. Oh, that's too much.
Wow, we'll fix
We'll
it
put
later.
it, yeah, we'll fix it. So what I'm doing is I am starting on the bottom of the cardboard so the extra stays under. And it's just flicking, 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 flicking. Can't go wrong with this. Start at the bottom. And you know, you want to go to the left, you want to go to the right, because you know, eyelashes are all over the place. They don't just go in one direction.
And if you wanted, you could even put an eyebrow if you feel like you wanted
Sure.
something up top.
Sure. If you want to put another piece of cardboard and do an eyebrow, by all means. If you would want to write words on here, that'd be kind of
Oh,
fun.
that's a great idea.
You can write focus, or you can write, you know, something.
I see you.
I see you. You can write like one of your favorite poems down here, handwritten.
That's a great idea.
All right. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. We're just gonna put, with your thin brush, I like it like this, a little dot and a little follow up. Sign it and call it a day. I think it's done.